So hi everyone, I know it's been a while since I have done anything on my channel. I'm really sorry about that. I've kind of been all over the place recently with wedding prep, obviously. I've been traveling a lot, just kind of trying to get a lot of things in my life organized because the wedding is about 3 weeks away and it is chaos, complete chaos. So what I thought I would do is today do like a wedding prep Q&A, because as many of you know, that's pretty much what's been taking up my time these past few months. And I've been getting so many different questions from you guys through the daily vlog channel, on my Twitter, on Instagram, everything, how everything's been going. So I figured, why don't I just do a Q&A and let you guys ask me the questions that you've been wondering and give you the answers that you need to know. So without further ado, let's get right into this Q&A. Wanna come up here and say hi? Come on up. Come on up. You know, he's always in the video. This question comes from Casey Harrington, and she asks if we are going to vlog the wedding. Girl, you know Charles Trippy, so you know we are vlogging the wedding. That is absolutely happening. The next question is from Brianna Burrell, and she asks, how much of the wedding is DIY? I feel like there's a lot of touches in the wedding that are DIY. I feel like I've been saying a lot how I've been utilizing Pinterest as my #1 go-to thing when it comes to finding something that's gonna make the wedding a little bit more unique. Like for instance, right now I'm in the process of building our photo booth. So we've had some trials and errors. I've looked up various different things on how to build a photo booth. Some have just been like sheet backdrop, other ones have been the palettes that we originally started with. And I just recently, actually Charles just recently got me I think it's like a 10-foot piece of fence that we're gonna use because it is a lot lighter than the pallets. But there is a lot of touches throughout the wedding that are gonna be DIY. Things on the tables, obviously the photo booth is gonna be DIY. We're gonna put a few things outside in regards to like signs, things of that sort. But there's definitely going to be a lot of personal touches that I myself and Charles have done, and along with my family members helping me out as well. This one comes from Katie, at @WeTheKatie on Twitter, and she asked, what thing are you most worried about with the prep of the wedding? That it's stressing me out too much. Obviously, I think everyone is like, the stress can get to you, especially when planning any type of event, whether it's a wedding, a birthday party, traveling, like if you're planning a trip for a big group of people, you wanna make sure that you have everything organized, that you have everything that you need, things are paid off. It just turns out the way that you want. And that is a big concern of mine, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Everyone's been telling me the day of, as soon as that day happens, all of this stress is going to be lifted off my shoulders and whatever happens, happens. So I'm really trying to decrease my stress. It's kind of dumb. I don't know why I'm so stressed about it, but I think I just want this day to go so wonderfully and I want everyone to have such a good time. I think I am a little bit nervous about the photo booth not being finished. That's kind of my concern. So if worst comes to worst, it doesn't happen, but I'm hoping it will. This question comes from Yvonne, and she asked, what's the color scheme for your wedding? So originally I was going for like a really deep jewel tone kind of color. Actually, I'll put up in the top section what I was originally going for, but now our colors are, for instance, the girls and the guys are all gonna be in black dresses. Charles has a beautiful cranberry wine colored suit, and then I wanted a very earthy feel with little minor touches. So there's a lot of greenery in this wedding, a lot of earth tones, wood, things of that sort, pops of like a rusty gold, the cranberry color, and sapphire blue is going to be kind of little dots of sapphire blue throughout the wedding. But there really isn't a color scheme, there really isn't a theme even at that for this wedding. I just kind of sat down with Charles and we talked about things that we liked, and we tried to come up with something that we felt was beautiful and represented us. And yeah, I guess the theme would be Charles and Allie. This question comes from Tammy LaFontaine. Wow, that is, bam girl, you sound like a movie star. Tammy asked, did you book a honeymoon? We have not booked a honeymoon. Reason being is that Charles is going to be getting in, I don't know if you guys knew this, the day before the wedding at about 2 p.m. So he's gonna arrive then, and then he leaves about 2 days after the wedding. We have placed the honeymoon on hold. We have been looking into a few different things. I've been wanting to do like a backpacking trip or a cross-country road trip. I want to hike the Appalachian Trail for sure, but we're also talking about possibly when We the Kings is out in Hawaii, kind of extending that trip Charles wants to go to Bora Bora, which I'm not gonna say no to. And I mean, I don't know. We haven't really put a lot of thought into it quite yet. I think eventually it'll happen, but we're pretty blessed that we have the opportunity to kind of travel a lot. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm still very, very happy. Breathe the Chubby Bean asks, having fun? I'm having fun, but it is a little chaotic. I guess I didn't realize all the prep and all the time and all the dedication and all the work that really goes into creating, I guess you would say, a wedding, because it is really creating something, creating a day and putting your thoughts and your ideas down on paper and actually into real life. So I'm having fun, but it's stressful. Thank God I have a wedding planner. Thank God I have friends and family that are helping out. Tori asks, where did you start when you just began your wedding planning? First thing that Charles and I did, obviously, was decide on a date. Well, I take that back. We did not decide on a date. We had 2 dates that we were really contemplating between. I wanted this upcoming October. Charles wanted March. There were 2 very different times of the year. One was much quicker, one was not. I think we figured out the venue first, and then we figured out the date, because you can have a date in mind that you really like and you can find a venue that you really like, but that doesn't mean the date's gonna be available. So that can really fluctuate the time frame of when you're gonna get married. Find your venue first, have an idea of what you're looking for in regards to what time of year you wanna get married. If you're willing to give up that time frame because you love a venue so much, then there you go. But if you're really stuck on a time frame that you want, I say you go and you find that venue as soon as possible and book it. This one comes from Patricia, and she asks, have you guys picked a song for your first dance yet? We're narrowing it down. There's 2 different, there's like 5 different songs that we're going through right now. Some are very old school. I love very like old school, like rock songs that have been made into beautiful like love ballads, and I love that. But there are some new songs too that we really, really love that we're kind of debating between. We're gonna narrow that down probably this week because we have to. We don't really have a choice. Grace Banta asks, what has been the most stressful part? I don't really know if there's one part that's more stressful than the other. I can say that one thing that was difficult for me was deciding on, after we chose our venue, the amount of people that are allowed to go. I think that was really hard for me because I had so many friends and family members that I wanted to go and sing with Charles, but we had to narrow our list down because of the limited space that was at this particular venue. So that made it really hard on me, and I didn't want to offend anybody. It was just one of those things that kind of puts you in an awkward position. Obviously, we love all of our friends and all of our family members, and we wish we could have every single person there, but I think that the most difficult part is deciding like who is going to come and who have we not talked to in a year, who have we not talked to in 2 years, you know, that we still love so much, but we're gonna have to refrain from inviting them to the wedding. So that, I think that's the hardest part for us. Nicole asks, are you guys still gonna have food trucks for catering? Yes. Zach asks, who's in charge of the music? We're actually doing it together. We are coming up with ideas together on songs that we absolutely want to be played at the wedding. We're also letting the DJ kind of, and we are having a DJ, I don't know if we told you guys that. We're letting the DJ kind of give his 2 cents as well. He's a pretty awesome guy, and we told him we would just want a lot of dancing, a lot of fun, but he also wants us to come up with a list. So we're coming up with some fun songs that are really individualized to us and what we love to listen to. And so there's gonna be a fun mix between Charles, myself, and then the DJ. Wonderstruck XO asks, have you or Charles had any Bridezilla, Groomzilla moments yet? I don't think we have. And I know that's a crazy thing to say. I've asked Melissa, I've asked my mom, I've asked my sister, I've asked Charles. I was like, have I done anything that's made myself sound crazy or that's made him crazy and react crazy? And we haven't, surprisingly. Even my wedding planner said it, and I'm like, okay, maybe because I paid her to be my wedding planner, she's just saying this so that I don't feel bad. But she told me that I'm one of the most laid back brides that she's worked with. And she says that I'm so easygoing, it's almost freaking her out that I'm so calm about everything. I think it's because a lot of the stress I keep to myself. What might be stressing me out is something that's so easily fixed or not even that important. But I'm not the type of person that's gonna scream and yell and tell someone they have to do something. I just don't know how to do that, and I wouldn't want to do that, and I definitely wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So whole Bridezilla, Groomzilla, not happening today. YouTube Fan for Life asked if I'm going to be changing my last name to Trippy. So I am deciding along with Charles, that I'm going to hyphenate my name. So I'm going to be Allie Westenberg Trippy. I love my name. I think it's amazing that I'm going to have the opportunity to take on Charles' last name, but I also wanted to keep my maiden name as well. So yeah, I'm going to be hyphenating my name, Westenberg Trippy. Very long, it's not gonna be fun to write out. When we have kids, we'll decide from there. Stina asks, how excited am I that the wedding is so soon? I'm so excited. It didn't really hit me that the wedding was so close until I actually put on my wedding dress, and I was like, oh my gosh, I started getting all these feels and all these butterflies. Not really crazy nerves, but I think it really became reality that I am getting married incredibly soon, and that my whole life, it's not really gonna change. I think the only thing that's really gonna change is the fact that I'm gonna be writing an extra 6 letters at the end of my name, and then I'm gonna have a guy in my life that I call my husband. Mia asks, what things are you afraid of and excited for in marriage? I don't know if there's really a lot of things that I'm afraid of in regards to marriage. I think that it is a big step, and I think that it is going to be a change. I don't think it's gonna be a crazy change, but I think there's gonna be minor changes. I am excited to spend my life with somebody, which I would have done anyways, but I'm excited to spend my life with someone that makes me so unbelievably happy and deals with my crap and bullshit and lifts me when I'm down and humbles me when I'm a little bit too, I don't know, my ego gets too big or something. I don't know if there's a lot of things right now that I can think of that scare me about marriage. I know that there's gonna be fights, and I know that there's gonna be really difficult times, and I know that there's gonna be times that we really hate each other. I mean, we'll love each other, but we'll really hate each other. I know that we're gonna go through stuff as a couple that are going to be very hard. But I have to say this, the whole start of our relationship was really tough, and we got through it. So I feel a lot more confident and a lot less stress in regards to the hard things that we're gonna be going through in our relationship and throughout our life, because I feel like we've already gone through so many hard things and we've been able to conquer them together. Megan asks, what was unexpectedly easy and what was harder than you planned? Easy, for me, it was figuring out the venue that I wanted. Saw it, found it, Charles and I loved it. It was bam. It was so easy for us to choose. Harder than I planned, I think the dress was pretty hard for me. That was a pretty hard moment figuring out, and actually my wedding band, because Charles and I had totally different ideas on what we wanted for a wedding, like for a wedding band for me. I liked daintier stuff and he wanted it to kind of complement the diamonds. That was a little hard, is finding something that I liked that wasn't too like bam in your face, because I feel like this ring is so beautiful that I don't want to take away from it, and oh my god, every time I look down at it I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. But the ring was kind of hard, but I think that the hardest thing for me personally was finding my dress. It was hard, just because I had an idea in my head, and I actually found the complete opposite of what I thought I would be wearing for my wedding day as my wedding dress. I will say this, and I'm really happy I did this, I didn't bring a lot of people with me when I did the whole wedding dress shopping, and I think that that really helped out a lot. Not a million opinions, it was really based around my opinion, which made me feel really good. Attraction asks, is this the only time you see yourself in glitter? Homegirl, you know I'm not gonna be in glitter. No glitter here. Alyssa Presley, who, guys, if you do not follow her and her family on YouTube, you should. She asks, you have your own channel? What? Must go figure this out. Girl, yes I do. I just don't film often, and I'm working on it. Claire asks, in your opinion, what was the dumbest, weirdest thing you worried about during wedding planning? I feel kind of like the dumbest thing that I worried about was makeup. I don't know why it bothered me so much. I was so wanting to just do my own makeup because I really didn't care. And hair, I was like, oh, I'll just do my own, it doesn't really matter. And everyone was saying, no, you're gonna be so stressed out. You need to have somebody do your hair, you need to have somebody do your makeup, you need to have your nails done, you have to have this, you have to have that. You gotta make sure it looks great in the photos. And so that started to like really like freak me out. I'm like, oh my God, I really need to lock this down. And then at the end of the day, I realized like, it's really not that big of a deal. I think in regards to professional photos, it does help. It's all about how you feel, what makes you feel good. If you like to wear a lot of makeup and you want to look like a different person, or you want to look like a more glammed up individual, or if you want to look very natural and you want someone to do those things for you, as in your hair and makeup, I say go for it. I feel like that was kind of the thing though that really, to me, was kind of the dumbest thing for me personally. Not for everyone, but for me personally, yeah. Oh, and booking hotels. That stressed me out so much, and I don't even know why it stressed me out so much. It was a lot easier than I anticipated. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder, but it really wasn't that bad. I feel like I should have weirder things to be stressed out about, but there's things that don't really bother me that much. Penny Fisher asks, AllieWes, how do you stay so calm? I haven't noticed you pulling your hair out yet. It's because I don't film it. I do have stress and I do have anxiety, but I'm trying not to let this consume me to the point where it's like changing me, because I do have my freak out moments. Please don't get me wrong. Especially with the dress, I was having some major freakouts. Major freakouts. Being Sarah asks, what makes you most nervous about the day itself? I don't want to trip. I think everybody says that. I am a little bit nervous, even though like we go to events and we see a lot of people. I'm still very nervous to see all of my friends and family sitting out in a crowd. I don't know why, it freaks me out a little bit. That definitely makes me nervous, is walking into a crowd and kind of like being center of attention. That makes me a little bit on edge, but besides that, I don't know. I think that would be the only thing. Tripping and falling, and then having like stage fright in front of everybody. Anna asks, what has been your favorite part of the ceremony and reception to plan and prep? I love putting our ideas to life. I think that that's been my favorite thing for both the ceremony and the reception, because we're having, I don't know if I told you guys this, but we're having two different spots. So we're having a ceremony spot and then we're having a reception spot. And the ceremony spot itself is so beautiful and so unique and so much fun. I just loved it so much that that was the most stress-free part of the entire wedding planning for myself and Charles, because there's not really anything that we have to do, and it's so breathtaking. So that, I love that. I love that part about the whole ceremony. In regards to the reception, I can't wait to see what it looks like. Like, I can't wait to see all of our ideas and everything that we've been planning for the past couple of months to come to life. Lisa D asks, what was the hardest compromise for you and Charles, or did you guys agree on everything? To be completely honest, we did not disagree on anything. Jennifer Lemke, I'm probably saying that wrong, so I'm really sorry. She asks, will you and Charles be writing your own vows? So that's something that we've been going back and forth about. I know he's a little bit nervous about saying vows in front of people, and obviously I don't want him to feel nervous or scared. So I think we're going to write individual vows to one another and give it to each other to read before the ceremony. And I think that'll be really nice too, because I think it makes it very personalized and obviously less nerve-wracking for him, but sometimes it's scary to say them out loud, and I think it makes people super emotional, and I think it's very beautiful. But I know, for instance, with the vows that I say to Charles, I do want it to be personal, and I do want it to be something that he can always look back on and kind of hold me to if he wants to. So I think we're gonna do something a little bit more ourselves, where we're going to write them out rather than say them in front of everyone. A lot of people have actually been asking if we're having the dogs in the wedding. We're not gonna be having the dogs in the wedding. Not because I don't want them there. I love them all to death. I'm actually petting Diesel right now. But the venues that we have chosen aren't gonna allow the dogs to be there, but they're going to be in the video. They're going to be obviously being seen throughout us vlogging that day and our videographer filming. So they're gonna be there hanging out with us throughout the day. Liz Bradshaw, hi Liz, asks, what wedding traditions do you think are most important, and will you avoid any of them? I really like the father-daughter dance. That to me is something that's really important to me personally. I really want to make sure that I do that at my wedding. Even though I might be a terrible dancer, I really find that to be something that's so special between a father and a daughter, and I really, really love that. I'm not sure if Charles is going to be doing this mother-son dance yet. I haven't asked him, and that's something that's completely all to himself. But for me, the father-daughter dance was super important. And I also think that we're going to be having an area there that's going to be honoring some of our family members that we've lost throughout the years that we wish could be there, and friends, things of that sort. So that's another part of a wedding that seems to be really important to me. But the rest of it is just a lot of things that I feel like have been created throughout the years that aren't super important. I think vows are important for me personally, but I don't think that it's important to say them in front of everybody. Rihanna asks, is Charles going to see you in your dress before you walk down the aisle? I think we're gonna do a first look. I think we are gonna do a first look. I don't know though, I'm so nervous. I feel like if I see him before the wedding, I'm gonna like cry and freak out, but I feel like I'm gonna do that anyways if I walk down the aisle. So possibly, I think we are gonna do a first look and see each other before everyone else gets to see us. Derek Robertson, this is my favorite question of the entire list of questions that I've just done. If we call you Miss T, will you wear gold chains and grow a mohawk? Absolutely. Maybe I won't grow a mohawk, but maybe every once in a while I'll put a mohawk in my hair. Last question is from Celeste, and she asked, are you dying of excitement? I'm very excited. I can't wait. I know right now I seem a little calm, but I'm trying to be cool and collected, okay? That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm so unbelievably excited to have all of our friends and our family there and to see Charles and to like, oh my God, to call him my husband. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm dying of excitement. Okay, what am I saying? I am totally dying of excitement right now. Why do you keep licking my elbow, you weirdo? That's gonna do it for the wedding prep Q&A. I hope I answered a lot of your guys' questions. I actually am planning on filming a few more videos while Charles is gone. Do you hear him? He's psychotic. A lot of wedding prep videos are going to start spewing out of me in the next couple of days. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are brand new, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And thank you guys for bearing with me and waiting so long for another video. All right guys, love you so much. I'll see you later. Bye. Why are you such a freak? Why are you such a freak? You just can't let me film. Look at that cute little face. I just think you're so crazy. You're such a freak. Bye guys.